Okay, y'all, let's clock back in one final time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm excited necessarily. I don't know if excited is the right word. I guess, but it's like, I don't know. I didn't hear the best things from this finale. I'm watching this like 2 days later. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared. But we're just gonna go get into it. We're gonna go get straight into it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? My hopes for this episode, for this finale, is a funeral. A funeral, you know what I'm saying? Where nobody shows up, obviously. Just seeing them going on dates, just like living their lives finally. But I know we're not gonna get that. Maybe we are, maybe we are. Let me not judge, let me not judge. And for Proud to get indicted. Girl, don't remind me. And Wine having to give everything up, sickening. Like, what are we doing? No, cause like, what are we doing? And ain't no way he didn't hit her. What do you finna box?
Okay.
You finna box? Oh, he was scared of her hitting his car. Yeah, men like that, that's true. Like, what's... Okay. She got the Stanley. Come on, give him come on, use them stilettos. Oh. Girl, ain't no way this is the finale. Did we need this? My girl running in like, oh! She gagged. Come on, hit him again. Take his teeth out. Yeah! One more again. Let Wine have a turn though, cause like for real, this should be about Wine, but it's, well.
I'ma just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
That's good, but like, the way they're looking away. Like, girl, she got so caught up in the, you know, she's real for that, but like, Wine girl, get a turn. He's still on the flow. Oh my God. What? She froze. Is she scared? Alpha Wolf? What's going on? This isn't you. Uh-huh. Okay. Turn it up. Well, yes, sister. It's macaroni cheese.
That doesn't make no sense.
I just don't get the point. Like, did we need it like this? And why not getting a turn? But mind you, they having this confession. Her boss is standing right there. Law's boss is standing right there, girl. It's giving y'all both gonna have time off. Y'all both finna have time off. It's giving work from home. Oh. Like, look at her eyes, bro. Glimmering. Please. yes
เป็นแฟนกับรันนะ
Woo! Cinematica Cinematografia
ทำกับรันขนาดนี้
Oh What did you do to her?
แฟนไว้
You didn't do nothing to her but lie. Well Girl, she understands. She understands. Like, come on
อยาก
now.
มากอยากมากที่สุดในโลก
Right. No, they're
เป็น
cute.
แฟนกั
They're
บรัน
cute.
นะ
Yes. Yes. Que chula. Que chula. Choo choo. They're cutie pies. We're just gonna ignore, you know what I'm saying, the rapist on the floor. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
สรุปว่า
Uh-oh.
เป็นการทะเลาะวิวาทกันใช่ไหมครับ
Girl,
ไม่ใช่
yes.
นะคะ
Physical,
ที่หนู
emotional.
ทำไปเพื่อป้องกันตัวนะคะ
Oh.
ใครป้อง
That's
กัน
what he
ตัว
meant.
ใครนะครับ
ช่วงชุลมุนนะคะ
This bitch must be parked downtown Atlanta.
อ๋อ
แต่มันก็เริ่มจากเขาทำร้ายร่างกายเพื่อนเราก่อนนะคะ
Right.
แล้วก็พยายามจะลักพาตัวแล้วก็ล่วงละเมิดด้วย
เดี๋ยวนะครับ ที่คุณจันทาพูดเนี่ย มันเป็นการกล่าวหากันเกินไปครับ ผมก็แค่เห็นน้องวายเมาขึ้นรถผมหวังดี
Ain't no way.
บ้านพี่อยู่ในม่านรูดเหรอครับ
กับพี่จำได้ว่าทางไปคอนโดน้องวายมันไปทางนั้นน่ะแล้วตอนนั้นมันก็มึนๆอยู่เลยปักหมุดผิด คือมันแค่ชั่ววูบนะครับไม่ได้ตั้งใจจะไปที่นั่นจริง
อารมณ์อาจจะชั่ววูบครับ แต่นิสัยอาจจะชั่วจริงครับ
ๆมึงว่าใคร
เอ้ยคุณ
วายมาขึ้นรถพี่เอง
Ain't no way, bro.
แล้วมาบอกได้
Like,
ยังไงว่า
did we need this?
กล้องหน้ารถก็มีปะ
There's no way.
เดี๋ยวหลักฐานมันก็บอกเองแหละ ว่าใครที่โกห
There's
ก
no way.
ร้านคิดให้ดีนะ ถ้าคนอื่นรู้เรื่องนี้เข้า คนที่เสียที่สุดคือวาย
ใช่ค่ะ วายเสียที่สุด ทั้งเสียใจ เสียหาย เสียความรู้สึก เสียความเชื่อใจคนรอบข้างอะและที่หนักที่สุดเลยนะ วายเสียความเคารพตัวเอง
The employees ain't giving right now because the way I be, yo, keep me off him, keep me off him. Like, it's giving lawsuit, we coming for your whole lineage.
พี่เร็วแล้วขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ พี่ยังไม่ได้ทำอะไรวายเลยนะ
Oh my God, bro.
What are we doing right
วาย
now?
จะก่อนพี่เหรอ
Fuck, man.
Why are we still giving a...
ว่าพี่ทำอะไรวายขนาดที่ดันพูดหรือเปล่า
What are we doing? Ain't no way he got a kid.
การหวังให้คนอย่างพี่คิดได้แมันคงเป็นการหวังที่สูงเกินไปว่ะ
Okay, he got a family too. Oh.
ถ้าพี่ยังเป็นพ่อที่ดีไม่ได้ เป็นสามีที่ดีไม่ได้ เป็นหัวหน้างานที่ดีก็ไม่ได้
What?
หรือแม้กระทั่งเป็นผู้ชายที่ดีก็ยังไม่ได้ พี่ช่วยมีความเป็นมนุษย์หน่อยได้ปะ
Girl, no.
พี่ลอง
We've established that.
One
We've
minute.
established this man is a piece of shit. He is literal
ลูก
trash.
สาวพี่ ภรรยาของพี่ เจอคนแบบ
Are y'all
นี้
dead?
ที่ทำกับวัด
Ain't no way. Okay, let me let it play. Hold on. Before I...
พี่ยังจะพูดแบบเมื่อกี้ถูกปะ
Hold on. Go back. Are we doing the what if it was your sister? What if it was your daughter?
What?
Is that what we're doing right now?
ลูกสาวพี่ ภรรยาของพี่ เจอคนแบบพี่ที่ทำกับวายวันเนี้ย พี่ยังจะพูดแบบเมื่อกี้ถูกปะ
ก็บอกแล้วไง ว่าพี่ยังไม่ได้ทำอะไรวายเลย
ทำ พี่ทำหรือไม่ทำพี่รู้อยู่แก่ใจเว้ย แล้วพี่รู้ปะบนโลกเนี้ยไม่ได้มีคนเน่าๆแบบพี่อยู่แค่คนเดียว และในอนาคต คนที่พี่รักก็จะต้องเจอคนแบบพี่ และเมื่อวันนั้นมาถึง พี่ก็จะเข้าใจ ว่าความเจ็บปวดที่เห็นคนที่เรารักโดนทำร้าย มันทรมานมากแค่ไหน
Okay. Whatever that means.
What are we doing? Because this is not giving redemption, but entertaining this engaging with this man by giving this whole speech of what if it was another woman that somehow you would value as worthy enough of not raping.
Oh my God.
Would you then still rape her or assault her? It's giving, how is that not entertaining, this man? Who, like, I come to the question yet again, who is this for? I'm not trying to be funny, because it ain't nothing funny about it. Who is this for? Surely we can't be that behind as a society that we need messaging like this. It's not even, I can't even say messaging like this, because the thing is, we've lost the plot already. This speech is implying from the narrative of framing that ultimately men like this need to be reminded of a woman's humanity in order to reconsider their choices.
Wow.
And not only do they need to be reminded, but they need to be reminded by a woman. And it's like, and a woman who was also victim to them, ultimately, to him. What are we doing? Ain't no way in the great 2026 that we're still doing this. That we're still entertaining the inclination of the possibility, okay? That we have to ultimately educate rapists. As women, as victims, as queer people, but also not just that, but like that we ironically have to humanize them, right? So that they can humanize others. My thing is, what are we saying as a show? It'd be one thing if it was one character's decision to do that, and then the show reacts to that. You know what I mean? That'd be one thing if it was like law's decision to do this whole thing, but it's like within the frame of the narrative, it's questioned or it's reacted to, like the narrative does something with it. Like the show has more to say, you know? It's character writing and not necessarily the inherent political tone of the show itself. You know what I mean? What am I watching?
และพี่ก็เป็นส่วนหนึ่งที่สร้างโลกเน่าๆใบนี้ขึ้นมา
Okay. And then y'all want to play the dramatic music like
พี่ว่าคุณกรณ์จะคิดไม่ได้ค่ะ คนเราเป็นพ่อคนเราก็น่าจะคิดได้บ้างแหละ ไม่อยากให้ลูกเจอคนแบบไหนก็อย่าทำตัวเป็นคนแบบนั้น
So you're saying that I love you, auntie. Not too much on my auntie. That's my girl for real. But it's giving, it's not even her fault. This is the writing. This is the show. This is the show speaking directly to us, because that's what it is, unfortunately. The way these moments are set up, they're too baseline, they're too basic, they're too direct to really feel like they have any subtlety or nuance to them. They're not intended to have subtlety or nuance. They're there to provide the moral lesson right now, right? Which is fine. That's how basic storytelling. Nothing wrong with that necessarily, you know. But what is the moral here? What is the lesson here? Y'all really trying to tell me we're going this route? And I don't know why I'm gagged. I don't know why I'm surprised. Like, because it was heading where the show was heading. I didn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's giving, oh, you're a father now, you should know better. Bombastic side eye, girl.
จะลืมไปค่ะ
And that ain't even side eye, girl.
มีลูกได้ แต่ไม่ใช่ทุกคนจะเป็นพ่อคนได้
Girl, okay, that's true, but it's like, oh hell no. Girl, bury him under the prison. Just bury him under the prison, bro. Big ass head, no waist.
เดี๋ยวต้องขอรบกวนทุกคนไปให้ปากคำเพิ่มเติมที่โรงพักด้วยนะครับ
Girl, and where is wine? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
ขึ้นรถมาโดยที่ไม่ได้ยินยอม
I'm glad they took her aside.
จากนั้นก็มีปากเสียงกันกับเขาจนเกิดเป็นเหตุทะเลาะวิวาท
Hold up, what'd she say?
ตามมาช่วย
Right.
จากนั้นก็มีปากเสียงกันกับ
Otherwise,
เขา
aka
จนเกิด
kidnap.
เป็นเหตุทะเลาะวิวาทใช่ไหมคะ
ค่ะ
Sure. Police ain't gonna do shit,
เพื่อน
bro.
คุณเริ่มก่อนหรือเปล่าคะ
Friend, why you keep calling him friend? That is not my
ก่
friend.
อนค่ะ
เข้าใจแล้วค่ะ
Oh, okay.
งั้น
She's
เดี๋ยว
talking
ดิฉัน
about.
ขอให้คุณกับเพื่อนตามไปที่สน.เพื่อให้ปาก
Girl,
คำเพิ่
this
มเติ
is
ม
a
หน่อยนะ
mess,
คะ
girl. Oh my god.
ไม่ใช่เพื่อนค่ะ
คะ
Fan ka.
นค่ะ เขาเป็นแฟนฉันค่ะ
Doing this after what just happened is crazy work. This is the type. Okay, one more time, y'all.
Lord have mercy. Kim thinks she is a real pop star. Okay. Really can't.
There's no way. I have so many issues, girl. Let me tell y'all something. There's no way. Hold on. Wait. There's actually no way they turned that into a cutesy romantic little moment.
At what point does trivializing something, a social issue, like fucking assault, sexual violence, at what point does reducing that to a dramatic moment follow up by, you know, a heartfelt confession, a little more traumatic interaction mixed in with some whack-ass patriarchy be kind to me speech, followed up by another cutesy little, oh, she's my girlfriend, romanticized moment. And it's like, what are we doing? Are we taking this seriously or not? Because I don't know about y'all. I don't think it's gonna be shit to smile about after you just got kidnapped and almost got raped and already got assaulted multiple times. But okay, fair enough. Wine's pushing through it. Cool. Survivalist instincts. I understand. I can forgive that because the show ultimately needs to, you know, start making the transition. Girl, this is the last episode. They need to transition as soon as possible back into, you know, soft, romantic / comedic territory. But what I can't forgive is that fuck-ass speech.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you something. Perpetrators of sexual violence don't need to be reminded of the fact that their victims are human. That's the very reason they do it. It's about control. It's about power. It's about feeling control over another person's autonomy, body, emotions, spirit. There's no way I actually even have to say that. Like, that can't be real. And my thing is, like, maybe if the show was about teenagers, okay, I can understand that it's like, because also then that would imply the audience likely can be younger, is intended to be younger as well, like, you know, like 23.5, where it's like technically anybody can watch it, but it's definitely also aimed at younger audiences, like Sesame Street level, let's talk about sexual harm, or, you know. But, girl, this is a grown show with grown adults. I don't think it's not in character for Lal. Again, it is actually in character. I feel like they did her a little dirty, but okay. Like, I feel like my Lal would know better, but okay. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my Lal would know better. I'm not gonna lie. But no, this is the show telling us what it is. This is the show's political voice.
Like, it's giving patriarchy with benefits. You know what I'm saying? Ah! There's no way. There's just no way. There's just no way.
ได้เลยเดี๋ยวเราเรียกรถแล้วเรา
Oh my god.
เฮ้ย
Oh no.
ไปกับพวกนุ่มนิ่มมา
No, I can't do this today.
พวกนุ่มนิ่มไปกับพี่จันทาแล้ว
Girl, never have I felt so conflicted about watching a finale of a show. Like, that's low-key why watching terrible shows is easier in that sense. Like, when the finale comes around, you be happy, you be having a time, you know, you pulling out the good bacon, you know, you pulling out the good candy, you know what I'm saying? But this is like complicated, girl.
มาจากไหนอะ
Tanqua looking fly as fuck, sickening. I don't know, Proud's wearing a towel. I don't know what that's about.
มาหาเราทำไมอะ
Do y'all, what's your... Proud. What's Tanqua's favorite color? Okay. Like she don't know jack shit about this girl. Like I'm tired.
เราไม่ได้ใส่ใจหรือไม่ได้แคร์ความรู้สึกเธอนะแต่เราแค่กำลังสับสนน่ะ
I'm tuning her out. I don't know what she said. I'm tuning her out visually. I'm reading the subtitles and I'm not reading them. Does she go like, oh, wine, girl? Y'all already having problems. Y'all not even dating. That's crazy. How y'all already be like, girl? Wrap it all the way up, bro. Aluminium foil. Wrap this up, bro.
พี่วายเขายอมลาออกเพื่อที่จะได้คบกับคนที่เขารัก
Oh, I guess they can't date
เราเลย
either.
คิดว่า
But aren't they the same
เรา
department?
จะยอมลาออกเพื่อที่จะได้มาคบกับเธอ probably ขอโทษนะที่เพิ่งมาพูดเอาปาก
I feel like what?
เป็นแฟนกันไหม
Music hitting me. Tanqua like what? Girl, I cannot afford 2 people on 1
เรา
salary.
ช่วยงานพี่วายไม่เสร็จเลยอ่ะคือพี่วายเอาเราเข้ามาเพราะที่จะให้เราไปสืบว่า
How long have they been dating?
แต่ว่า
It can't be more than a month, surely. No, not even, because the whole corn stuff has been happening in the meantime too. There's no way it has been more than 2-3 weeks
ตอนนี้เรื่องทุกอย่าง
max,
มันก็คลี่
if
คลาย
that.
แล้วเราเลยว่าจะไปลาออก
Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking right now.
เฮ้ยเธอพูดเป็นคำเดียวเหรอพูดคำอื่นไม่เป็นแล้วไง
It's giving. I'll give it 4 months. Oh, I'll give it 4
ดู
months,
ดี
sister.
ๆมาพูดแบบเนี้ยคาดหวังจะให้พูดอะไรกลับอ่ะ
Girl, please.
โอเคไง
How about no way, nay?
แต่เรื่องงานจะทำยังไง
She just started working there too. Oh, I guess maybe that's why. She's less attached to the job.
งานหาใหม่
I
ได้
guess.
แต่คนที่ทำให้เรารู้สึกได้แบบเธออะหาไม่ได้แล้วนะ
I feel like finding drunk people is easy.
เราต้องคิดเรื่องนี้ให้รอบคอบมากกว่านี้ เราต้องคิดถึงต้นทุนจริง ต้นทุนแฝง วิเคราะห์ความเสี่ยงต่างๆ ที่มันจะมากระทบกับ ไม่ต้องคิดแล้ว ถ้าเธอไม่ชอบเรา เธอแค่สุดเรื่องคือเขา ไม่คือ
Wasted potential. If ever there was a visual representation of
ตอน
wasted
ที่เมียเขา
potential.
หอบลูกมาที่สอนอนิ่มทนดูไม่ได้เลย
เศร้ามากเลยเหรอ
ปวดอึสงสัยกินยำเยอะเกิน
โอ้โหกินย้ำเยอะเกินเดี๋ยวแผลแน่หรอก ถึงจะสงสารครอบครัวเขา
What was that?
แต่พี่วายก็อย่าไปยอมนะครับ เอาเรื่องให้ถึงที่สุด เพราะคนอย่างไอ้กรณ์อ่ะ คิดไม่ได้หรอก
ยังไงก็ขอบคุณพวกเรา2 คนมากเลยนะ ที่มาช่วยอ่ะ
พี่รันก็รู้อยู่แล้ว อะไรที่ไม่ใช่เรื่องงานนิ่มช่วงที่
I hope Wine gets some real good therapy. I don't know how she gonna afford it, but you know,
ขอบคุณมาก
I hope she gets it.
ไม่รู้เลยว่าพี่จะตอบแทนยังไงหมด
Girl, there's no way, bro. But you know, Loki, on the one hand, I will say, when something really traumatic happens to you, depending on the type of person you are, and for Wine, this definitely counts, and I can relate to this, it's like you Loki you do go into like some type of like, okay, you know, what's next? Like, you want to get some dinner? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you unfortunately, that's what trauma trains you into also, you know, especially if you don't have good coping mechanisms or also support systems, you know. You just, Loki, you get used to it. It's just like, okay,
กูรู้มึงฟินอยู่
we're girlfriends now. Let's go have dinner.
งั้น
Like,
กลับก่อนนะคะพี่
we should call somebody, sister.
บาย
We should call somebody.
กลับ
I'm
ดี
not gonna hold you. But Law, you did good though. You bagged up. Woo, a baddie, baby. A real bad one. Our room is crazy. She said, I know you still have the key. Yeah. But you know what? It makes sense that because they showed us Law having the bigger place, so she can support her financially, I guess.
ก็เก็บไว้รอวายกลับมานี่แหละ
Girl, what? It's been a week. I think I'm just gonna tap out a little bit and just enjoy the vibes, you know what I mean? The show has showed us what it wants to offer in terms of moral, in terms of messaging. So
นันรู้นะ
you know.
เขาวายทำเพื่อปกป้องหลาน
วายไม่เคยรู้เลยว่าความรักดีๆมันคืออะไรจนกระทั่งวายถูกรักจากรัน
It's sweet. Very sweet.
มันเป็นรักที่ดีมากดีที่สุดเท่าที่วายเคยได้รับจากใครมาเลย
If only we could have seen a little more of that love, but we saw a bit.
รันดีๆเหมือนกันนะแต่ว่าวายก็ไม่รู้วายไม่รู้ว่า
The way she's still punishing herself and everything she says, talking about like earlier when she said like you don't have to keep apologizing for me after all I've done. Wine baby, we need to get you some therapy on God. On God, sister, because you are that bitch. You know what I'm saying? You are who you see lol to be. You understand what I'm saying? Like. Girl, I'm just gonna go with it. Let's just go with it, y'all. Me siento confundido. Oh,
นมเปรี้ยวดัชมิล
Dash Mill
สดชื่นว่า
Girl, please.
ได้ทุกวัน
Ciao, anyways. Yes, one final. Oh, what's going on here? One final shirt and tie, baby. Ooh, she got on a silk though. I don't got a silk. And she got on a string tie, Party City.
ว่าวายต้องพูดอะไรอ่ะ
Who is this? Her mom?
กลับมาเถอะ
ก็พูดความจริงไงวาย
What?
พูดทุกอย่างที่มันเกิดขึ้น
Oh, okay.
วายไม่เห็นต้องกลัวอะไรเลย
Right. She's afraid. Oh, this is because she's afraid she's gonna get scolded. She's gonna get blamed. Why is the mom sitting like she possessed or something? What? She was waiting on her cue, I guess. She said.
พี่กรณ์
Oh, I don't need to see it again. Actually, I'm good.
พี่กรณ์อย่าค่ะเรื่องที่สามีฉันทำกับคุณวายดิฉันต้องขอโทษนะคะ
Oh, it's okay. Interesting. At least they gave us that.
เข้าใจนะคะ
Okay.
มันทำให้คุณแล้วก็ครอบครัวคุณเสียใจมาก
Okay. W.
แต่เราก็ใจอ่อนให้ไม่ได้เหมือนกันนะ
W women. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very nice.
ไม่ได้มาที่นี่เพื่อมาขอร้องนะคะ แต่ฉันมาเพื่อบอกพวกคุณให้ดำเนินคดีให้ถึงที่สุดค่ะ
She said that man ain't shit. That
สิ่ง
trifling
ที่สามีฉัน
motherfucker.
ทำมันทำให้ฉันเสียใจและผิดหวังมาก
Okay, W. Thank God, because the last thing we needed was another like side conflict of like girl.
ในฐานะผู้หญิงและแม่
Right.
การกระทำของเขา
Okay. Period.
เป็นสิ่งที่ฉันให้อภัยไม่ได้จริง
You know what I'm saying? I like that she said as a woman and a mother.
ฉันรู้นะคะ
If she had just said mother, I'd be like, okay.
ว่าสำหรับคุณแล้วมันคงเป็นการตัดสินใจที่ยากมาก
Right. No, she's real as fuck for that.
ขอบคุณนะคะ
She's real as fuck for that. Yeah.
ขอบคุณคุณแทนลูก
I hope she got support. I hope she got protection. Cause that motherfucker crazy.
ไม่มีอะไรยิ่งใหญ่ไปกว่าพ่อแม่ที่ปกป้องลูกแล้วค่ะ
Okay, W. Okay. At least they gave us that. See, that's what pisses me off about the show. Like, they have good elements, and then they go and turn around and do some bullshit, and it's like, girl, which is it? Like, which are we doing? We didn't need that speech. And if we had that speech, we could have had a whole lot of a better speech. Like, inherently having a speech there, I think it's a little bit doesn't work, but if we're gonna do it, she's so cute. Why couldn't we have a story about her, Loki? Next, Enemies with Benefits spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
But you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna have a speech, can we at least let the speech eat, you know?
แต่จริงๆคุณแนนอาจจะหมดแรงกับยายเม็ดทรายไปแล้วก็ได้นะ
Oh yeah, what happened with Medsai?
นึกว่าสงครามโลกครั้งที่3ทะเลาะกันเสียงดังมาก
หรอคะ
Wearing all the outfits and for what? Serving looks
พี่ก็โดนไล่ออกแล้วไง
and got served
เรื่องคดีก็ว่าไปตามนั้น
with a lawsuit. That's crazy. Serving suit got served with a lawsuit. That's crazy.
รันว่าพี่เม็ดทรายลืมคืนอะไรปะคะ คืนอะไรก็ค่าชานมไข่มุกของนุ่มนิ่มที่พี่แอบกินไปไง พี่ไม่ต้องเสียเวลาปฏิเสธหรอก กล้องวงจรปิดเขาถ่ายไว้หมดแล้วค่ะ ได้ดิ แค่นี้เอง
I can't. I just can't. Like.
แล้วไหนล่ะคะคำขอโทษอ่ะ
ขอโท
คน
ษ
ที่มีการศึกษาเวลาเขาทำผิดเขาก็ต้องขอโทษกันทั้งนั้นนะคะ
Like, when did law become the like harbinger of morality? Like, it's not working, sister.
แล้วทำไมไม่ซื้อกินเองตั้งแต่แรกครับ
And I don't like how it's so much focus. Like, what about the survivors? Like,
การเอาของคนอื่นไปอ่ะไม่ว่าจะใหญ่หรือเล็ก
no, not with this, but like with the corn thing still. Like,
บ้าปะเนี่ยไม่บ้า
wine.
รบกวนพี่เม็ดทรายขอโทษ
I don't know. I feel like the irony in the narrative still kind of forgetting to pay proper attention and focus to the survivor of the very thing they have a whole moral lesson to, you know, give us about.
What?
Whatever, you get what I'm saying. No. Like, okay. Girl, okay. Girl, can we wrap this up?
สั่งแก้วใหญ่ XL เพิ่มมุกประจำเลย
Oh my god.
ที่พี่ให้มายังไม่ครบค่ะต้องแบงค์เทาอีก2 ใบ
I know that's right. My thing is, would Medsai be the type of person to give the money for real?
เลี้ยงหมูกระทะด้วย
จัดไปเบคอนพิเศษ
ของพี่ชุดครอบครัวหมูนะ
Okay. I don't fuck with this lady still though, I'm sorry.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
No, cause she coming in here acting all high and mighty like, I don't fuck with it. Making her tea like, girl. She thinks she giving all that.
จะดูแลเรื่องคดีให้ทุกอย่างนะคะรวมทั้งเรื่องเงินชดเชยแล้วก็การเยียวยาจิตใจ
And coming for survivors like, but I mean, I guess she didn't really do that, but like, no, it wasn't giving. No.
แล้วก็นางจิตบำบัดเฉพาะทางไว้แล้ว
Wow, wow, incredible. Yes. Now, if only we got to see that, but I mean, at least they did it. Okay, W. Also, is she still fired? I mean, yeah, I guess so. She did still break the company policy.
ขอให้รู้ว่าเราพร้อมปกป้องความปลอดภัยทางร่างกายแล้วก็จิตใจของวายนะ
I mean, it's something.
เรื่องความสัมพันธ์
This is very good. Capitalism stocks are up right now. This is very good promo.
ดิฉันแกล้งทำเป็นไม่รู้ไม่เห็นได้นะ
What?
ค่ะ
ยังอยากทำงานที่นี่อยู่ไหมคะ
What?
Okay, sure. Fuck it. Well, yes. Matter of fact, girl, pour me some of that jasmine. Ooh. Pour me some of that oolong.
เรื่องนี้ที่ฉันก็ทำเป็นไม่รู้ไม่เห็น
Putting the teacup on it, girl, please. She kind of ate that though. Ooh. She kind of ate that. She kind of ate that. She kind of ate that. That's why they set up the tea.
แล้วเรื่องกฎ COI ล่ะคะ
COI don't CO it. Woo.
ห้ามคบกันเด็ดขาด
Right.
แล้วถ้าสองคนทำงานที่ไม่เกี่ยวข้องกันล่ะคะ
Oh. Oh yeah, loophole.
คนหนึ่งอยู่เมืองไทย อีกคนหนึ่งอยู่ญี่ปุ่น ถือว่าอยู่คนละสาขาค่ะ แค่นี้ก็ไม่เกี่ยวข้องกันแล้ว
But then how are we supposed to have a
สำนัก
relationship,
งาน
bro?
ใหญ่ที่ญี่ปุ่น มีตำแหน่งเกี่ยวกับบัญชีว่างอยู่ค่ะ ซึ่งฉันคิดว่าคุณวายน่า
I
จะ
think
เรีย
a
น
long
ปริญ
distance
ญา
would be good. Let Wine focus on therapy.
ประกอบกับความสามารถ
You know what I'm saying?
ที่ตรวจสอบ จนจับ
Let Lal sharpen
ผลงาน
her
ขนาดเนี้ยบริษัทเราไม่อยาก
her
เสีย
politics a little bit, her
คนมีความสามารถ
perspective, her feminism.
ดิฉันรีเฟอร์ให้คุณได้นะคะ ถ้าคุณสนใจ
But we needed that, right? Don't they always do that at the end where they split them up, Loki?
โอกาส
Like they do a split up as in like a breakup, conflict, and then they do a split up as in like a time pass, you know? And you know what? I don't necessarily think
ยอดขายเดือนนี้ของเรา
I'll say this. I don't think that time lapses or what is it? You know, in the relationship near the end, I don't think they're always inherently bad. Not at all. Because I remember like a while ago, a friend was talking about this as well in the chat. Where these Thai shows they use a four act structure as opposed to the standardized 3-act Western structure, which creates, you know, a different build-up as well emotionally, right? And development and payout or payoff or whatever. And I think that is very fascinating, and I quite enjoy it in a lot of shows. I think that structure is executed very well. I know a lot of people disagree about, you know, the split up like near the end in Us the series, right? Where Rak takes care of her. No, I'm tripping. Where Pam takes care of her dying mother or dying grandma, and Rak takes care of her brother, I think, right? Yeah. Or like, you know, keeps him company. A lot of folks were like, why did they put that in there? That was unnecessary, da da da. As I get it, because you want to see them happy finally, right? But it was the most, to me, the most logical, you know, like natural and emotional progression, right? To not just the placement of the plot of the grandma dying, but also obviously of the brother being mentally ill and suicidal, and there still being life after that, after the fact, after the brother tries to commit and it doesn't succeed, after, you know, the grandma actually does become sick and eventually ends up dying, and that obviously being a natural point of return for the both of them to one another because, you know, funeral and everything. But in the sense of like the core themes of family and community that Us the series does such a marvelous job at, you know, at portraying, at centering, it makes a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense because ultimately we establish what isn't family for both characters, then we move into how they realize they are family and can be family for one another, which then in turn brings them back to redefining from their, so to speak, blood family, right? Who there still is worthy of being their family and actually always was their family ultimately in the end, you know, for Pam, obviously, you know, her grandmother and her friend, and for Rak, you know, her mother and her brother, and that moves into spending some time and reconfiguring or finding a new balance, I guess, finding a new way of life with said remaining blood family, so to speak, or chosen family as well, you know, but yeah, you know, blood family as in the family they started with also, right? And then coming back to one another, because now the picture of family is complete and whole, and they have figured out a way to merge the past, the present, and the future, essentially. And it's beautiful, right? It's just beautiful. And in a familial context, right? If you think about that, you think about the core structure there, I think it makes a lot of sense, you know. Yeah, as an audience, is it the most pleasing for those of us who want to see them have a joyous, happy ending? No, but that show doesn't have a joyous, happy ending to that extent. It has a realistic happy ending, you know. You know, people die, life goes on. Life going on is the core message of that show. There's a couple of good ones in there, but that's definitely one of them. My thing is, what's the core message of this show? Not to compare apples to oranges. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just using that as an example to come back to Enemies with Benefits and say, okay, what's the core message of the show? And I'm asking y'all this too, because I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. What is the core message of Enemies with Benefits? And some people might say, oh, not everything has to have a core message. Everything has a core message, whether you like it or not, whether the creators wanted it to have one or not. Once you create something, it has something to say. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Whether that, whatever it is saying is worthy of our time, you know what I'm saying, makes sense, that's a different question. That's a different question. But what is the core message of Enemies with Benefits? There's themes of trauma, there's themes of healing, there's themes of miscommunication and working through that, there's themes of maturity, there's themes of you know, loneliness and isolation and connection. But what is the core message? And how, coming back to ultimately my point before we finally continue, how does that factor into coming back to this last act where we have, you know, the split up in a positive sense, in the sense of the distance, the time lapse, you know, or I guess in a sense, distance lapse between the lead characters, right? For the sake of the plot progression, or finalization, really. How does that factor in here into contributing and finalizing the establishing of the core message of the show? You know, I'm thinking out loud. I don't have the answer right now, what the core message of the show is. Other than perhaps give yourself a chance to love. Yeah. Yeah. Courage, in a way. Yeah. You know. Self-love to that extent as well. You know, the self-love to love someone else, you know. I suppose. I'm not saying the message isn't there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm genuinely asking this question openly because I also feel like whatever foundation they were laying to set up this core message, we dwindled a little bit. We dwindled. To all that core and drama, the way that played out, it just distracted, at the very least distracted. But yeah, because it didn't inherently have enough to say, and what it did have to say was, yeah, so bare bones and not even correct. Sorry, no shade. So liberalist. You know, like what? Honestly, even right, like even I feel like even in right wing, because that's a big thing. The right wingers love that one. They love to do a whole, like, what if it was your daughter? They love that one. That's their whole thing. Like, they love that one. Because that's the only way they can remember the humanity of the opposing gender or sex or whatever. Like, oh my God. Yeah, exactly. So I hate that they did my girl lawll dirty like that. Let's see, girl. Let's see how it plays out.
เก่งมาก
ทีนี้ก็ไม่มีใครมาขวางโบนัสเราแล้ว yes
แล้วพี่วายล่ะคะ ไม่มาฉลองกับพี่รันด้วยหรอ
ก็วายบอกว่า
She at the airport.
วายจะกลับไปเก็บของอ่ะแล้วก็จะบอกแม่เรื่องลาออกด้วย
Wine should have a talk with her mother. And I'm not
พี่
gonna
วาย
lie.
เขาตัดสินใจแบบนี้
I know that conversation with the wife was healing, and I fuck with it. Short as it was, I think it was a nice addition.
รู้สึกผิดอยู่อ่ะ
But you know, we need more. What'd she say?
เขาต้องรักพี่รันมากแน่
พี่ก็รู้สึกผิดอยู่อ่ะ
The way her face is smaller than the big ass tankard she
วันนี้
drank
กลับดึ
from.
กหน่อยนะ ขอคุยกับแม่ต่อหน่อย
Okay.
ได้สิ แต่วันนี้รันดื่มอ่ะคงมารับไม่ได้ ให้รันเรียกรถให้ไหม ไม่เป็นไร เดี๋ยวไว้กลับเองดีกว่า น่าจะยาวอ่ะ โอเค งั้นไว้เจอกันนะ
That's good. She gonna talk with her mom. Are we gonna get to see that? That's good. That's good. Okay. See, like enemies with benefits, y'all make me angry because like y'all do a lot of things right. Like oh, we didn't get to see it. Well, we'll just have to assume there was a healing.
ๆ โอ้โห นี่มีใครยังไม่เป็น
Girl, keep the beer away from her.
Just like this pussy.
Keep the beer away.
แกสองคนไง
เอาไหม
มา ขอเมนูหน่อยค่ะ
ไปคุยกับ HR มาละ พี่จันทาบอกว่าเดี๋ยวย้ายไป
Nobody. It's the way nobody asked. Girl, I missed the part where I asked.
เดี๋ยวคุยกับหัวหน้าใหม่อาทิตย์หน้า
เอ้างั้นพี่วายก็ย้ายมาเหมือนกันดิ จะได้ไม่ต้องหางานใหม่ด้วย
จริงๆ พี่วายก็ได้ออฟเฟอร์นะ แต่ว่าปฏิเสธไปแล้ว
What? Ain't no way she turned it down.
ออฟเฟอร์อะไร
Oh, that's why they did this. Okay, I get it.
ไม่มีใครรู้เลย
So they can do the oh, you should go, and it can be the final act of love, right? Yeah. Okay. Mom, you need to apologize immediately.
แม่ทำไมแม่ไม่พูดอะไรเลย
Did she tell? I guess she told her.
ก็แกยอมไม่ไปญี่ปุ่นเพราะเลือกแฟนเนี่ยแล้วแม่จะพูดอะไรได้อีกเหรอ
Oh, Mom, don't eat like that. Hold on. She eating it. She eating it.
คือว่า
But also, Mom, you still owe me an apology. Dead ass.
ว่าการที่เลี้ยงลูกคนหนึ่งให้โตขึ้นมาได้
Face guard is tea though.
มันต้องใช้เงินเท่าไหร่ และแกรู้ไหมว่าแม่ต้องสูญเสียอะไรไปบ้าง
Okay, Mom, we losing the plot. Are you trying to guilt me or are you trying to
แม่
inspire
สู้
me?
ทุกอย่างคนเดียว ไม่มีใครช่วย แม้กระทั่งพ่อของวาย
Right. Where is Paul?
วายรู้ค่ะ
Like what?
รู้แล้วยังเลือกทางนี้อีกเหรอ
I mean, it's tough love, I guess. Not sure why needs that, but okay.
วายจะหางานที่ใหม่ที่ได้เงินเทียบเท่ากับที่เก่า
Not sure any kid needs that.
แม่ไม่ต้องห่วงวายเรื่องค่าใช้จ่ายนะ ถึงวายยังไม่มีงานตอนนี้ แต่ว่าวายก็จะส่งเงินให้แม่เหมือนเดิม
แล้วอนาคตของแกล่ะ
This relationship's strained, girl. Ooh.
แกอาจจะเลือกความรักแทนอนาคต แล้วถ้าวันหนึ่งแกต้องเลิกกับแฟนล่ะ
But Mom,
แกจะมานั่งเสียใจในสิ่งที่แกปฏิเสธไปวันนี้นะวาย
Listen, she ain't wrong. So is this supposed to redeem the mother's character? Like, redeem? I say redeem, not that she was like evil, but like, you know, she caused a lot of fucked up internalizations and wine. Let's be real. And does this redeem her character because she's now reminding Wine of what she's worth? Okay. Girl, sure. What you know, what the hell, sure. Like, you know. At least mom was right, you know. Like. And Wine probably gagged, because it's like, Wine having to be reminded that she shouldn't pick love over her career. She's probably like, who am I? I know she gagged. You know.
แม่น่ะเหรอ ก็เหมือนเดิมอะ
เหมือนเดิมคืออะไรอะ
แม่ก็ไม่เข้าใจเหมือนเดิมอะไม่ว่าวายจะคิดยังไงตัดสินใจอะไร
Oh, okay.
แม่ก็มองว่าวายผิดตลอดอะแหละ
Right.
แล้ว
But she was right though, Wine. She was right. But she didn't, the way she brought it didn't
ถาม
help.
อย่างนี้แสดงว่ารู้อยู่แล้วใช่ไหม
ก็เนี่ยมันเป็นประเทศที่วายอยากไปมาตลอดอะทำไมถึงปฏิเสธไปอะ
ก็เพราะว่ารัน
I mean, if Law wants to go, I mean, if Wine wants to stay, you know what?
Why?
More power to you, Wine.
แค่วายเสียสละตัวเองเรื่อง
I just feel like, I don't know.
รู้สึกผิด
Let her sleep on it a little more. I don't know.
เนี่ย
But if Wine stands behind it, then period. Forget what mom said. Don't worry about none of that. You know.
พ่อเธอรันเลิกพูดเรื่องนี้เถอะ
But honestly, if we really get into it for a second, just a second, what is it saying? Wine, the overly ambitious, you know what I'm saying? Striving, goal-oriented, you know what I'm saying? Pragmatic, you know what I'm saying? Professional. Is this Wine growing as a character, you know, into understanding that not everything is about work, you know what I mean? It's okay to also like have a personal life and have love, and that has value. Is that character growth, or is this the narrative telling us that ultimately Wine's only form of possible growth is releasing everything that we know her character to be?
What would you do if, when you're okay, so he said yes, would go? I don't know what you mean there, babes.
Maybe the point is, yeah, that is the point ultimately. Like, Wine grew, so she's changed as a person. But my issue is, does that mean inherently there was something wrong with who she was in the beginning?
Yeah, right, right.
Why? ลองคิดใหม่ดูอีกทีไหม
Yeah, girl, think about it again. No shade.
ถ้ารันพยายามจะพูดอะไรกันแน่
Go home, get that manga, and see what you gonna miss.
คือรันไม่ได้อยากให้วายมาเสียสละตัวเองเพื่อรันแล้วอะ
Right.
ถ้ามันต้องเป็นอย่างนี้ไม่คบกันยังจะดีกว่า
พูดอะไรออกมา รู้ตัวเปล่า
รันไม่ได้หมายความว่าอย่างนั้นวาย
แล้วรันหมายความว่ายังไงอะถ้าสลับกันรันเป็นคนได้ออฟเฟอร์นี้รันจะเลือกงานแล้วเลิกกับวายเหรอ
โอ้
แต่วายกลับคิดว่าถ้าเป็นรันอะ รันก็ต้องเลือกทางเดียวกับวายทางที่มีเราสองคนอะ
Yeah, because she loves to sacrifice
ไม่
herself.
ใช่วายใจเย็นๆก่อนดิรันไม่ได้หมายความว่าอย่างนั้นวายวาย
อย่างนี้วายกลับห้องนะ
วายคุยกันดีๆก่อนอย่าแยกกันอยู่แบบนี้
วายไม่อยากเห็นหน้ารันอะ
You know, this relationship is, you know, it needs some work. But we do that, you know. I believe in them. 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 I believe in them.
Oh my god.
วายรันขอโทษวายเปิดประตูให้รันหน่อยรันขอโทษ
But girl, give her some space though.
ไม่มีสัญญาณตอบรับจากเลขหมายที่คุณเรียกค่ะ
Ain't no way she blocked her. Now, girl.
What is this, honey?
Ain't no way, girl. This is too much Leo for me, girl. This is scary. Oh, girl. What type of lipstick y'all got on?
คือเราเห็นพี่วายเป็นไอดอลของเรา
It didn't lip stuck.
เราไม่เห็นพี่วาย
It didn't lip stick, yeah.
What is your biggest mistake?
The biggest beef steak ไม่ได้ชอบเราเพราะเห็นว่าเราเป็นตัวแทนของพี่วายใช่ไหม
What?
ถึงขนาดนี้แล้วอ่ะยังคิดเรื่องนี้อยู่อีกเหรอ
ก็มีบ้าง
คนเราเนี่ยจะชอบใครที่เขาเหมือนใครมาแทนใครได้ด้วยเหรอคนอื่นอาจจะทำได้นะ
I get Tanqua though.
แต่คนที่รู้
Like, girl, I get Tanqua
ทำ
bad.
ไม่ได้หรอก
Like, I feel bad for Tanqua so bad. Like, as if it wasn't enough how this started out.
เข้าใจแล้ว
Now she has to deal with
ขอโทษนะ
the insecurity, which is also her responsibility. Sure, I get
ไม่
it.
เป็นไรเลย
Like,
ถ้ามีเรื่องอะไรอ่ะถามทุกอย่างเลยนะ
but it's interesting how she keeps asking Proud. It's like you didn't trust Proud's answer the first time. No. Interesting. I don't blame her. Oh, I'll say that much. I don't blame her.
วายเปิดประตูให้เรา
What kind of girl? How did we go back to this?
ไปนี่ ห้องเนี่ยเขาไม่อยู่ เลิกคอได้แล้ว น่ารำคาญน่ะ
เขาไม่ได้กลับมาแล้วหรอคะ
ไม่เห็นนะ ถ้ากลับมาแล้วก็ต้องได้ยินเสียงบ้างแหละ
She went to Japan. Don't play. No, she wouldn't have done that.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that?
Hey, yo.
I saw that, Proud. What was you... Saisi, what was you doing over there? I saw that. Who's calling? Wait, I didn't check. Oh, law.
โทรศัพท์อะ
ช่างมันเถอะ
นั่นนะรับหน่อยไหมเดี๋ยวเป็นเรื่องด่วน
ช่างมันไม่ได้หรอ
รับหน่อย
โอ้ตาย
Girl, they look crazy, girl. Girl.
ฮัลโหลพี่รัน
This ain't Pluto, I'll say that much.
พี่วายหายเหรอคะ พี่รันลองไปดูที่บ้านพี่วายไหมคะ
วายเขาไม่ได้กลับมาที่บ้านหรอก
What?
งั้นคุณแม่พอจะทราบไหมอะคะว่าวายเขาไปที่ไหนอะคือหนูโทรหาวายแล้วเขาไม่รับโทรศัพท์หนูเลยอะค่ะ
ลองโทรหาแฟนเขาดูสิ
Yeah, so about that.
หนูเนี่ยแหละค่ะ แฟนวาย
รันน่ะเหรอ
Oh, now they gonna beef? So you the reason she not going... Uh-oh.
รันเป็นแฟนกับวาย
Uh-oh. Girl, did we need this? Ain't no way, bruh. I thought they was gonna do... They gonna be cool and just send her off to Japan, like, after a little conversation about it. But what are we doing all this extra stuff? Y'all just had to have a little more drama in there, huh? Right. But Mom, where was you when we needed you? No
ถ้า
shade.
จะรบกวนถามคุณแม่ว่า คุณแม่พูดอะไรกับวายไปบ้าง
Oh.
คุณแม่จะสะดวกไหมคะ
I thought wine was missing. We just gonna have some tea? All right. Okay. Mom is also into Japan, I'm seeing. That's interesting. Maybe Dad was Japanese also? I don't know.
ญี่ปุ่น ฉันรู้ว่านั่นคือความฝันของวาย แล้วมันก็เป็นโอกาสที่ดีต่ออนาคตของเขาด้วย
Right.
ฉันเคยมีโอกาสแบบวาย แต่ฉันก็เลือกความรักแทนอนาคต
Okay.
และฉันก็เลือกผิด ฉันเลยไม่อยากให้วายมีจุดจบแบบเดียวกับฉัน ถ้าเธอรักวายจริง เธอรู้ใช่ไหมว่าเธอต้องทำยังไง
Oh boy. One final lesson of, not even lesson, because we're not learning the lesson. One final act of lawll to sacrifice something.
หนูเข้าใจแล้วค่ะว่าวายเขารู้สึกยังไง แล้วหนูก็ไม่น่าพูดแบบนั้นกับวายไปเลย
I know Wine gonna be mad she went to her mom's house, but I don't blame her.
ชัดเจนกับความรู้สึกของตัวเอง
Maybe she won't be mad, but
เพราะว่าเขาอยากรักษาความสัมพันธ์ของเราไว้
it's like Lawll, you couldn't wait for Wine to tell you this personally. You had to go to her mom's house.
มันไม่ใช่เพราะว่าเขาคิด
But okay, I'll give him benefit of the doubt because it's like, yeah, we just had to deal with a rapist. Like, I can understand the fear of like, oh, Wine's not answering the phone. He got her. Like, he escaped. I understand. Like, your mind goes to, the worst case scenario even more so. Like, I get it. But then it doesn't make sense that we're sitting down chatting right now. No shade. Which is it? Like,
มีแต่หนูอะที่ไปกังขาในความ
wait, what'd she say?
คนไหนมีแต่หนูอะที่ไปกังขาในความคิดของวายอะขอบคุณคุณแม่มากเลยนะคะ ที่ทำให้หนูเข้าใจว่าทำไมเขาถึงโกรธหนูขนาดเนี้ย
Right.
ในขณะที่หนูไม่เชื่อในความคิดของเขา เขากลับเชื่อใจหนูมากที่สุด
Right.
คุณแม่คะ
Okay, W introspection. Good for you, Lawll.
สวัสดีค่ะ
At least she got
ไม่
it.
เข้าใจหรอกว่าสิ่งที่เธอทำวันนี้มันจะทำให้วายมีจุดจบแบบเดียวกับฉัน
No, girl, I don't control her. She's her own person.
หนูรับปากไม่ได้
The
นะ
lighting.
คะว่าอนาคตมันจะเป็นยังไง
Please.
แต่สิ่งที่หนูต้องทำตอนนี้ คือทำให้วายเขาเห็นว่า เขาตัดสินใจไม่ผิดค่ะ
Right.
ขอตัวกันนะคะคุณแม่
Remind Wine of her autonomy and that she's her own person and that she's right and that she's on her own path.
แตงกวา
Because God knows left and right she's been told the opposite. And I sure it would be great if Wine could come to that on her own, but I think she has in a way. And she
พี่
needs
วายอยู่ที่ทะเลที่เราไปเอาติ้งกันค่ะ
she needs support of the person she loves. I mean, that matters. So, oh boy.
Why? Why อยู่ไหนอะ Why? Why? โอ๊ย Why?
ตามมาถูกได้ไงอ่ะ
Why?
Why would they frame her walking off into the ocean like that and then fade to black? I didn't like that. We're gonna let it go.
ใจคอกันให้วายอยู่ไปไหนได้เลยเหรอ
She's just trying to have some food by the beach, bro. She's trying to have a crepe by the beach, bro. Here come Lawll.
วายขอโทษนะที่พูดกับวายแบบนั้นอะ
วายก็ขอโทษที่หนีออกมาแบบนี้นะ
Me personally, I think
ต่อไปถ้ามีอะไร
nothing wrong with giving her some space.
แต่สุดท้ายก็กลายเป็นวายเอง
You know.
เป็นฝ่ายหนีตลอด
But I don't know how much Wine is actually like does actually appreciate Lawll going after her.
ถือว่า
I think she does appreciate it in some way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it.
ส่วนเรื่องไปญี่ปุ่นน่ะวายก็ไปเหอะไม่เป็นไรหรอก เราก็คบกันแบบ long distance relationship ไง
Wait, so which is
ไป
it?
ญี่ปุ่นเราจะบ่อยตอนนั้นไปหา
Wait, Lawll. So which is it, Lawll? Did you understand that Wine trusted you to understand she knows the decision she's making? Wine trusted you to trust her decision? Or is it ultimately you trust her decision, but also she should reconsider? Like, I don't know what. Okay.
Girl,
it's only 3 months?
ฮะไปตั้ง3 เดือนแล้วคุณนายก็กลับมาจะให้วายไปทำบัญชีที่เดียวกับพาวต่อเลยอะ
เดี๋ยวนะนี่ที่เราทะเลาะกันใหญ่โตจน
Girl, okay, y'all got me. Y'all got me with that one. Y'all got me. You got me. You got me.
ตั้ง3 เดือน
You got me. That's funny.
3 เดือน
You got me.
จริงด้วยตั้ง3 เดือนตั้ง
นี่รันพูดว่าแค่3 เดือนเหรอ
เปล่าไม่ใช่อย่างนั้นวาย
But it's valid.
คือ
Because for wine, if she feels it's a lot, then it's a lot for her.
เป็น
Period.
ระยะเวลาที่นานพอที่จะทำให้รันขาดใจตายได้
It's sweet. It's sweet.
แต่ว่า
But I'm mad that we wasted time on this, as like for the show, like
รักที่รันมีให้วาย
because we don't have time left. If we had more time left, this would have been fine. But like, girl,
เดือน
I don't know.
จะไป3 ปีอะ
I don't know. I don't know.
รันก็ไม่เปลี่ยนใจหรอกนะ
I guess it's fine. Actually, it's fine. I guess. It's the final comedic payoff, but it's also kind of like, maybe it would have hit harder actually if it wasn't a punchline. If it was actually like, you know, like but like I guess that's what it's trying to say, but it's kind of like getting lost a little bit in the comedic undertone or overtone, I guess. Like if we could have like really like like swooned a little bit over the fact that Wine is like so in love with her, this like 3 months is unfathomable to her. That's what's happening here. But it's treated as like a joke, like, oh, Wine, silly Wine, it's only 3 months. So ultimately we are still laughing at Wine. So but maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it's just like, maybe that's the point. It's like, girl, let up. But it's like the way they've been treating character, like Wine's character writing, I feel like we're not in a place to just be like, oh, Wine, like, because has she been taken seriously by the narrative? That's why I say the show is so complicated. Like, no, I'm almost done. I promise. We're almost done. And I don't want to sit here and yap for 30 minutes after. So that's why I'm trying to yap now. Because I'm tired and I need to get some candy because my blood sugar low. But like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving, the show really picks and chooses when it wants to make fun of the very same material it presented as serious or of lasting impact or consequential, whatever, you know, a second before. And while that's the premise, that's a build-up, a natural like structure of comedy can be and often is, that's fine. But it's like the themes and situations that it chooses to pick and choose with is like, and this one, I don't know, it was funny, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I regret laughing. It's not that deep, but it's kind of like, yeah, we're still just trivializing Wine's feelings a little bit in that. But you could also read it as like, no, the point is for Wine to also like not take things as seriously, lighten up a little bit in a soft sense, like it's okay, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. Like, obviously, this love is very new to her. Relationships in and of itself are fairly new to her, as far as I understand. So yeah, you know, ultimately, it's also kind of giving like, no, you know, it's not always that hard, that serious, that deep. Like, these are just the first, like, you know, it's part of loving, right? And of a first love as well, in a way, or whatever you want to call it, right? First deep love, I guess. Where it feels like you're gonna die when you're apart for a moment and this, that, and the third. It can feel like that. You know, I guess, like, maybe I'm just doing too much right now. Because I'm disappointed with some of the things, so then I start picking apart everything. That's not fair. So let's just leave it for what it is.
วันหลังถ้างอนเนี่ยไปแค่แถวสาทรได้ปะ
What?
คืนนี้มันไกลอ่ะดิมาถึงทะเลอ่ะ
Yeah, now you're doing too much, law. Like, what do you mean? Like, can you make it convenient for me next time you want to be sulking? Like, what?
คุณรันเอาเงินเดือนตัวเองจ่ายให้เขาเหรอคะ
Oh?
คะกำไรหายไปขนาดเนี้ยก็ไม่ต่างอะไรจากการที่คุณรันเอาเงินเดือนตัวเองจ่ายให้เขาหรอกค่ะกูรักพี่วายนะแต่พี่ก็จะไปญี่ปุ่นเมื่อไหร่วะ
อีกไม่นานหรอก
อีกไม่นานจะไปเหรอ
อีกไม่นานเนี่ยหัวกูจะหลุดแล้วนะหยุมหัวทุกวันเลย
คุณวายคะคือตรงเนี้ย
คะ
ตรงนี้เดี๋ยวรันไปประชุมกับน้องๆเพื่อแก้ไขปัญหาให้ค่ะ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Okay, I guess. Full circle. Maybe ultimately we preserve some of her character. That's good. Although it doesn't seem like law's happy with it,
ส
but
งสารพี่รันว่ะพี่รันคะ เดี๋ยวพวกเราช่วยกันแก้ก็ได้ค่ะ แค่นี้เอง
แค่นี้เอง มึงก็ทำคนเดียวสิ
นี่ ช่วยแต่มือได้ไหมปากไม่ต้อง
เจอกันที่ห้องนะ
okay. Ah, yes, of course.
ใจเย็นๆสิ วันนี้เป็นอะไรเนี่ย
ก็ลงโทษวายไง
What I tell y'all? Back in episode 3 or 4, whatever. They channeling that energy. They keep it in the boardroom so they can take it to the bedroom.
Thank God.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy, I can't lie. Yeah. I guess ultimately they didn't completely destroy her character in the work setting. That's good. That's good. I like that. I think that's good. So maybe that was the point. Maybe we missed the point where ultimately who she is at work is not who she is outside of work. But that's not true, considering how she was moving. Am I in the middle? What's going on? Oh. Okay. Hey, sister girl.
ได้รับเมลกันแล้วสินะคะ
คุณจะลาออกเพราะว่าหนีความผิดเหรอคะ
เปล่าค่ะ
She's resigning?
ฉันรู้สึกผิดมากกว่า
Well.
ที่รับคนแบบนั้นเข้ามาทำงาน
Okay. Okay.
นี่เป็นการแสด
Conscience.
งความรับผิดชอบ
W
ของ
conscience.
ฉันค่ะ
Right. You gonna pay back the salary you got?
ที่ได้ร่วมงานกับคุณ
Nah, I'm doing too much.
ถึงแม้ว่าจะเป็นระยะเวลาไม่นาน
That wasn't on her. She didn't know, but like, you
การ
know.
ทำงานของพวกคุณมากค่ะ
I just don't like her as a person, but
เช่นกันนะคะ
I'm not gonna blame her. That's kind of crazy though. Like Loki, she quit because of corn, but she feels bad. I mean, she quit. She wasn't fired, so
วายจะบินไปญี่ปุ่น
it would have been really bad if she was fired.
วายเตรียมข้อมูลทุกอย่างของคดีไว้ให้คุณ
But
ท
I
นายหม
mean,
ดแล้วนะ
still, if we talk internalized, you know, whatever, we're gonna let it go.
I know it ain't. I know it
Wait
ain't.
a minute. I know that ain't. I know that ain't. The lawyer.
ที่เหลือก็ฝากด้วยนะคะ
งั้นฉันขอตัวก่อนนะ
The face guard. Oh my god. View's face guard? Yeah. I get why they named her View. I get why they named her View. That's all I'll say. Girl, please. They did do us dirty though with making Piploy the lawyer and then just not.
สวัสดีครับคุณลูกค้า มากี่ท่านครับ จองโต๊ะไว้หรือยังครับ
Why does she look so confused? Okay, shoulder pads. Yeah, cause she got a lot to shoulder. I get it. Oh brother. Come on with the loose cut. I like that.
ชีสอ๋อเพื่อนมาแล้วค่ะ
เชิญครับ
She's girl, the outfits though? No, she's eating bad.
นัดทนายคุยเรื่องคดีอยู่
Ain't nothing cheesy about it. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
It is yellow though. I wonder if that's on purpose.
เขาคงไปแล้วมั้ง
Oh, so she's gonna handle. That's oh, that's an interest. I kind of like that as a link to the universe though. That isn't bad. It's sad, but it's kind of real, you know. She's her lawyer.
ดีใจด้วยนะ มีจิ้งจอกเป็นของตัวเองแล้ว
แต่ก็จะไม่ได้เจอกันอีกตั้งหลายเดือน
โห ญี่ปุ่นก็แค่หน้าปากซอยปะ ฉันกลัวรันจะบินมาหาแต่แก จนไม่ได้ทำงานมากกว่า
Right.
ก็ผมบอกเลยครับว่าผมพยายามสู้คดีอยู่ทำไมท่านไม่ให้โอกาสผมบ้างเลยครับ
Ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
ผมมีประวัติการทำงานหลายที่เลยนะครับท่าน
เอาเป็นว่าคุณไปชนะคดีของคุณมาให้ได้ก่อนดีกว่า ชื่อเสียงคุณย่ำแย่ขนาดนี้เนี่ย ไม่มีใครอยากเสี่ยงด้วยหรอก
Okay.
ท่านครับ ท่านครับ
I don't know how much that would happen in real life, but yeah, escapism. That's escapism. That's escapism. Exactly. Oh. Cheese is a cutie pie. I don't know where Cheese was when Wine was going through it, but we're gonna let it go. I'm not sure it was Cheese's fault. Girl, I'm hungry and I'm sorry. Let's wrap it up. It's been fun. It's been good. It's been fun, but now I've got to go. Okay, 3 months later. Okay. Time skip. Why is she wearing pajamas at work? What? I'm tripping. What is that? Is that hair? Oh, that's lace. I'm sorry.
นิ่มฝากด้วยนะ
How is Nin still working there? No shade.
พี่ขอลาครึ่งวัน
วันนี้นี่นะ
But I'm glad.
สวัสดี
Because she's a cutie pie.
วันนี้มีเด็กใหม่ฝ่าย HR มาแนะนำนะคะ
No, not today, sister. Who is that?
สวัสดีค่ะ
She's pretty.
หนูเพิ่งย้าย
Pink
เข้ามา
hair?
ค่ะก็ถ้า
That's
มีอะไร
cute.
แนะนำก็บอกได้นะคะ
WHR.
ชื่อรัน เดี๋ยวไว้เจอกันสวัสดีค่ะ
มีอะไรจะแนะนำน้องไหมจ๊ะ
ก็ทำตัวสบายๆเหมือนอยู่บ้านเลยก็ได้ที่นี่
งั้นหนูนอนตรงนี้เลยนะคะหนูนอนเล่นค่ะ
Oh, I like her. Oh, I like her.
โอ้โห สู้มือแบบเนี้ย
Now, what would happen if you fall in love with HR?
ปรึกษาพวกพี่เขาได้นะ
They're gonna put you under the jail.
แต่ไม่รู้ว่าจะได้เรื่องหรือเปล่า
Oh, that's
ไว้เจอ
crazy.
กันสวัสดีค่ะ
ที่ร้านสวยจัง
What?
Not too much.
มีแฟนแล้วจ้า รักแฟนมากด้วย เนี่ยแฟนเขาเพิ่งกลับมาจากเมืองนอก เดี๋ยวจะพาไปเที่ยวกัน
แล้วแฟนเขาเป็นคนยังไงเหรอคะ
ทำงาน
Is HR supposed to ask them type of questions? Not the shade. Girl. We know damn well she outside the building. Like, is this airport? This is not airport, sister. She mad? Oh, she got there late?
Maloka. ช้าไป15 นาที 48 วินะคะ
Mi bomba!
ก็เมื่อกี้มันติดข้างหน้าอยู่นิดหน่อยอ่ะ
You know, I understand for people who care about that stuff that it's annoying. Me personally, I wouldn't care. But
ก็รันออกมาเลทนิดนึงอ่ะ คือวันนี้มีพนักงานใหม่มาไงรันก็เลยอยู่ให้เขาแป๊บนึงไปดีกว่าเดี๋ยวรถติดกว่าเดิม เดี๋ยวคัมแบ็คค่ะ ไปพี่งอนจังเลยเนี่ยเขาร้อนอ่ะร้อนก็ร้อนเชิญค่ะ
okay. It's the way we know nothing about them. They don't know nothing about each other. Yeah. Match made in heaven. Okay.
เฮ้ย แอบถ่ายเหรอ เอาดูเลยสวยเปล่า ไหนดูสิเฮ้ย น่าเกลียดอะลบไปเลยทำไมอะสวยอ่ะจริงเหรอ จริงสิคะเห็นนั่นอ้อนเหมือนแมวเนี่ย ใครจะไปรู้นะกระดูกอย่างกับเสือแต่เสือสวยขนาดเนี้ยยอมไม่ดุเลยค่ะ
Girl, I tapped out for a second. I started thinking about candy. Real bad. You know, I think ultimately the message is, you know, to find balance between the things that you love and the things that love you, you know. Whether it be people, work, you know. Find balance. How much we achieved the balance? I think we did a decent job. But we lost the blood along the way. Oh yeah. Oh, I love hermit crabs. Did they put this here because that was in the trailer? Yeah. Now y'all know that popcorn glued together. Just like y'all. Girl. Oh. What? You know what? Hell yeah, sure. What the hell, sure. Dutch meal. Woo! Yes. Yang Jing Jing. Yoo! Kapuk Saisi. Woo! Law Wine. Woo! Tangkwa Proud. Tangkwa. Woo! Yes. You know. Come take me like a wine, hate me please. ใกล้ใกล้อีก Your Charlie lips. You know, I think I said what I wanted to say as the episode was playing. Ultimately, what y'all giving this show? I don't really like to do like a whole rating thing like that. I don't really like that. I'm fond of what the show started out as, and even halfway through still was delivering, was giving. So for me, I would not call Enemies with Benefits a bad show. Now, my opinions are subject to change, but as it stands right now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm coming off the high of the finale, or just the fact that, you know, obviously it hasn't set in yet that this is it's over and we genuinely don't really have anything good coming up. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe there is something good coming up. I don't think there is. But for a while at least, I mean, you know. But I think Enemies with Benefits is a good show until it becomes a confused show. Yeah, I think that's the fair way to put it. Yeah. But I say that, and that isn't to say that acting wasn't delivered. You know, general production value wasn't delivered. We could have done a bit better with the lighting and the coloring, color grading especially, but you know, I don't think it was that terrible. It was a little washed out, but general dynamics between the side characters and, you know, like general plot progression and like presentation of the core conflict and plot and premise and everything, because it was deliberate. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a show where you're just sat there just like, what exactly is the story? No. What exactly is the point? No. We could go either way. We could twist and turn a little bit on, like I said, on the core, you know, message. But no, I think there are overlapping themes there, like I said, of finding balance, self-love. Yeah. You know, Corn could have been an email, you know. Medsai could have been a lawsuit, you know. Wine's trauma could have been a therapy, you know. But at least I did that off screen, so you know, I'll give him that one. Proud should have been a lawsuit, you know. But yeah, other than that, you know what I'm saying, I'll give props where props are too, you know. So ultimately, I don't know, I do think, like, if you were to ask me, am I gonna miss the show, I think unfortunately it's enough of a sign when a new episode comes out and I'm no longer, like, you know, itching, jumping, rushing to go watch it, right? Which unfortunately did start happening for me around, I don't know, episode 8, I guess, 7 or 8. Basically around the point where, you know, obviously Corn started to be introduced and that started to go down the way it did. Yeah. Because I just felt like it was undermining its own emotional maturity a little bit by having so much drama for drama's sake. And when I say drama, I don't mean like as in, you know, just the themes being dramatic, because yeah, they are, but the way that it presented was giving soap opera a little bit. I'm sorry, it was like we doing a whole car chase scene, like what if it was your sister, your brother, your sister, your mother, your whatever the fuck, your child speech, like we. And the gag is the narrative set up already space within its character writing between lawll and wine, set up space for the narrative itself to also come back to lawll once again and be like, hey girl, like we doing too much, like it's giving Sigma nada. But like, you know, like how lawll's portrayed to be somebody who tries to beat men at their own game, when the point is like, girl, ain't no beating and ain't no game. You understand? The narrative itself proved to us that it was aware of that. It was conscious of that in the earlier episodes. Through wine also, you know, commenting on that, remarking on that, telling lawll like, girl, it's giving alpha male, like, or whatever she said, you know, I'll never forget that. That's such a fantastic line, like ironically and unironically, you know, just fun, you know, like, yeah, like, you know, Thailand needs that. I mean, thaigl needs that a little bit right now, you know, like, for sure, you know, that proved to us, like, or showed us, whatever, like, that the narrative itself was aware, was conscious of what was happening there. But I feel like we kind of, somebody left the writer's room that shouldn't have left. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe somebody got kicked out. I don't know. I don't know what happened. That's why I'm saying I don't blame lawll as a character for being consistent. I think that's not an issue I have at all. It's like, yeah, of course you would wish she grows a little bit in that sense, and maybe, like, you know, starts to also like examine her own internalized misogyny a little more, and like her need of like what her saviorism is based in, how gender is coded in her behavior, and what that means, you know, etc., etc. But that's all, I understand that's all way too much, not just for us to see, but for the show to have time for. I get that. So yeah, okay, we could have gotten a throwaway scene of lawll like thinking about it a little more, talking about it maybe with a friend, but you know. And then lawll's only real friend outside of work is that idiot steward. No shade. I mean, he's not the best, you know, he's not the best voice of reason. So where was she gonna get a natural, like, you know, set up to have conversation like that? Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. But it's like, is it lawll or is it the show? Can y'all imagine if this show was from Wine's perspective? I do stand by that. Like, now that I've seen the whole thing, especially, I will say, because we didn't go anywhere with lawll, because the narrative doubled down on inherently like some kind of like this idea of like finding the right rebuttal for patriarchy by still using patriarchal framing.
What?
As if you can ever win a game that you were not even a player in. You understand what I'm saying? To use simplified terms. Because that's where the narrative went, and it unfortunately didn't go further. It doubled down, if anything. Because of that specific reason, I do ultimately think that the show would have been more interesting if it was from Wine's perspective. But I say that knowing full well the narrative probably wouldn't have been able to handle that, considering how they couldn't fully be consistent about Wine's character throughout the whole thing as it stood. So the idea of actually juggling like a deeper introspection into Wine, who she is as a person, what she feels, how the world perceives her, how she perceives the world to perceive her, what that means in a professional context, in a personal context, how she relates and connects to her friends and the people closest to her, her strained relationship with her mother, what that means. Like, there's so much there. Her trauma, obviously, how she links her femininity also to her trauma and what that means, and in terms of objectification, and there's so much there. I think it would have been fantastic, fascinating to see a story about that, but would the writers, whoever was left in that writer room, would they have been able to pull that off? You know, so ultimately what we got, I think that's it. And ultimately this is the same writing team as her. which apparently is still in production and is still being worked on. It's only gonna get worse from here. We have bigger battles to fight. We need to get ready mentally for those, for sure, because it's gonna get scary. Scarier. You know, but yeah. One thing I could say without a doubt is, even though I don't like some of the characters, you know, like obviously Proud, and I mean, I guess don't really have like real beef with anybody else for real, to be honest. Everybody gave their all. Like acting wise, there wasn't a bad egg in the bunch, or however you say that, or whatever. There wasn't nobody that was like, they could have, you know, had a little more training. No. Corny and cheesy as the comic delivery was of the side characters, like law's co-workers, you know, that's how you know that they really did that. They delivered that with like determination and like conviction, because I was annoyed. So, you know, so yeah, you know, everybody did that. Everybody did that. Like they really did, you know. Yeah, I guess I enjoyed it for what it was. And honestly, the things that I think it failed on, you know, I mean, it still pales in comparison to some of the shows, some of the thaigl that we've watched, you know, also on this channel. Although more in memes then, I guess. Like, when shows like Blank still exist, like, you don't understand what I'm saying? Like, you just can't, like, you can't put that in the same landscape and then try to judge it equally. No. The show did achieve what it set out to do. It wasn't really trying to be complete slice of life. It wasn't trying to be realistically dramatic. It wasn't trying to be gentle comedy. It wasn't trying to be, you know, soft romance necessarily. Although it had some soft romance elements for sure, but like, you know, there were already obviously things that depends on who you are. For me, I don't gravitate necessarily to, you know, to adults working, like to professional adults, you know, in an office environment where the work environment isn't really up for discussion, as like doesn't have any core inherent, like, you know, messaging of its own, you know, like it's not a bigger part of the plot other than like possible obstacle or like maybe like a potential point of conflict at times. Like I prefer stories about adults trying to figure out life or working or not, where the work itself is remotely interesting. Let me just say it like that. And that's not what this was, but that's okay. That's okay. I do think they did a pretty good job still making it interesting, because like the office stuff, girl, who cared about that? If you were one of the 6 people who cared, you know, I'm sure you're really sad to see the show go, and I feel bad for you. I do, you know, and that's valid. And I mean, yeah, it's probably just relatable for quite a few people. How many people have an office job? Like, yeah, it's relatable. You know what I mean? So that's good. But I do think they did that well, considering like I was still invested in their relationship, which was obviously the point. So I think they did a good job on that. But yeah, like I said, this is the best way I can put it. It was a good show until it got confused. Which actually is a really good way to sum this up, because just like an enemies with benefits arrangement, it's good until it gets confusing. So actually, maybe they was on something. Maybe I couldn't see. Maybe I was short-sighted. I'm tired. I've been recording for 2 hours. I'm gonna go. Thank y'all so much for watching this with me. This was such a joy to watch together. And this is the first. No, I'm tripping. I was gonna say this is the first show we finished together on this channel, but it's not. But we don't speak of the other one. We don't talk anymore. But I love that I got to watch this with y'all, because y'all just made this so fun, and like y'all had such interesting conversations and things to say. And I love how there was enough, that showed how there was enough there, you know, substantially in the story for people to have such character analysis ready, for better or for worse. No, I'm playing. But you know what I mean? Like, that's wonderful. We need that. We need more of that, not just in thaigl, but also in thaigl. Obviously, we need more of that. We need more discourse that has something to say, you know, just like we need more shows that have something to say, or at the very least, character writing in shows that has something to say, you know. It's okay. I'm very happy, I will say, I'm happy that this is Young Ying Ying's first show as a couple, because to me that bodes well for their future. You know what I mean? Like, you could do a lot worse for a first show. You know what I'm saying? We've done a lot worse. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you really think about it, what was you know, what was Limsey's first show? You know, what was Inglad's first show? But that's not fair. Okay, Inglad's that's not a fair one. I guess if I think about like GMMTV pairings for shows with like one big sneak, with one huge sneak, they were all good, you know. Like, actually pretty decent shows. With, yeah, they all had some issues, of course, but nothing is exempt from issues. They were pretty decent shows. That's the gag. The gag is like, if GMMTV tries, they're actually capable of producing something pretty damn decent. Also in the GL sphere, you know what I'm saying? I know that they've been making BL since forever. That's not my, I don't go there, you know what I'm saying? That's not my ministry. That's the gag. So it's like, I know y'all can do better, but Enemies with Benefits was not your worst. Definitely not. Definitely not. And I don't think it was even a bad show necessarily. But then again, like, sometimes it's not that easy to talk in such conclusive terms, is it? Sometimes it is easy, but sometimes it's not, you know? And this is one of those cases where I feel like it's easy enough for me to say that it was a decent show. It's easy enough for me to say that I don't think it was a bad show. I think it was a good show in to some extent, for sure. And I enjoyed a lot of it as well. And I'll always appreciate how it's a show like also about 30-somethings, because we need more of that. Like, where are the 30-somethings? You would think we're dead, like by the amount of times we get, you know, stories on screen, right? And not just in thaigl, like that's a worldwide problem, right? So yeah, I think I've yapped all that I could yap, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much for watching this with me. What y'all gonna watch next? It's looking like Shades, it's just not possible right now. So I think we might have to come together as a collective. I think I'll make a poll. I think we might have to figure out what else we can watch. Now, I do have, there's a couple of old Chinese GL that I've been wanting to finish. And there's also a couple of new ones that came out. Well, there's one new one that came out, and there's one that's been out for a while. What is it called? Duet of Shadows. That one's been out for a while, but I haven't seen it still. And there's one that's new that just came out. What the heck was it called? Yeah, it was called Where Colors Dream. Heard some good things about that. So I'm thinking maybe we could watch one of those. It's either gonna be that or we're gonna finish lovesenior. So the choice is on y'all, and I pray you choose wisely. No, because I need the hard drive space. I need to get that show off my hard drive. I'm tired. Like, I need the hard drive space, girl. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all are staying safe. I hope y'all are taking care. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's still a very dark world. And I just hope you can be kind to yourself, I guess. And you would think it's easy to be kind to yourself, but really, honestly, in truth, it is truly a practice that you have to choose every single waking moment. Something I'm still very much in the learning process of. Just go easy on yourselves. You know what I mean? Go easy on yourself. You're doing your best, okay? Even if it doesn't feel like it, you know? Even if it doesn't look like it, even if it doesn't meet your standards or your ideal, you know, vision, or give it time, give yourself time, give yourself grace, you know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. I just love y'all. I just love y'all. And thank y'all for being patient with me. You know, it's just, yeah, my mental health has also been like just really just up and down. It's just been really a lot to deal with. So to try and find space where I can sit in front of this camera and be present, like actually be there with y'all, you know, it hasn't always been easy. But I want to keep trying, and I keep doing it because I love it, and I love getting to watch this stuff with y'all and yap with y'all. So I'm grateful for y'all being so understanding, you know, when I maybe need some more time sometimes, or because I really don't like being away from this channel. I really don't. And I'm talking like I've been gone for months, girl. It's been a week or something, but like, you know, I'm really working on the consistency. I am, you know, but my mind needs to get consistent too. You know what I'm saying? We working on it, sister. We working on it, sister. Anyway, I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. You know, we gonna figure it out. We might have to watch In Love Forever. Because the tea is, I do want to kind of watch a show that's on air as well. That is more fun. You know, we'll see, girl. Should we watch The Fire? I love y'all. Stay safe and don't forget to love yourselves. And proud. Now they better give Kapuk Saizi something real to work with in the next one. Kapuk Saizi show when? When? It should be in this universe too. Well, no, maybe it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. I take it back.